मसाले तो बहुत हैं, पर प्रकृति की गोद से खास चुने मसाले जिनकी ताजगी, खुशबू और स्वाद रहे बरकरार, ऐसे उम्दा मसाले बनाते हैं सिर्फ कैच। कैच का कोई मैच नहीं, 100%।
For the next session of today, we have none other than actor, producer, and author, the bad man of Hindi cinema himself, Gulshan Grover, who will give us a breathtaking insight into his life and his journey as an actor. In conversation will be Abhijit Ghosh, Associate Editor with the Times of India, and the author of 2 books on cinema, the National Award-winning cinema Bhojpuri, and the 40 retakes Bollywood classics you may have missed.
Hello, everyone. A very, very warm welcome to this session of the 2021 Times Lit Fest. I'm your host, Abhijit Ghosh, and we have with us today actor Gulshan Grover. And we will discuss his fascinating life and a very truthful autobiography, Bad Man, co-authored with senior journalist Roshmila Bhattacharya. Gulshan Grover reminds me of a very reliable Duracell energy battery, which goes on and on. I remember as a college student queuing up for tickets to watch Rocky and Hum Paanch, which are among his early films. I remember the audience singing, Hum Paanch Pandav Ye Shakuni Mama. And here we are, over 40 years later, and he's still going strong. No surprise that whenever Mahesh Bhatt meets him, he always says, Gulshan Grover, never over. In these 40 years, Gulshan has acted in over 400 films, conquering Bollywood, Hollywood, and a host of foreign languages. But the road to success for Mr. Grover was never an easy one. In fact, he had a tough childhood and he had to struggle every step of his life to reach where he is today. Today, he's here to tell us every interesting turn in his life, both on and off the screen. So let us just start the conversation. Gulshan Grover, a very, very warm welcome to the Times Lit Fest. Now, let us just begin the conversation from the very beginning of your life, from your childhood, which was filled with warmth that you received from your family. But it was also a very tough life financially. You wrote in your book that you used to sell detergents in Delhi's posh Punjabi Bagh area in your free time during your school days. Can you recount those days?
First of all, thank you very much to Times Lit Festival. The festival director, Vinita ji, and everyone. I've had the great pleasure of being live in Delhi at the Time Lit Festival. It was a wonderful experience, like meeting such, wonderful writers, and even the audiences, were so enlightened audience, And sir, thank you very much for such a warm introduction, such a wonderful, such kind words about me. आपने जो हम पांच पांडव, ये शकुनी मामा जो आपने गाना गाया, बहुत सारी पुरानी यादें ताजा हो गई. आपने जो मेरे मेंटोर महेश भट्ट साहब का जो बात कही कि गुलशन ग्रोवर नेवर ओवर, ये भी बात जो है एकदम से दिल में और ज्यादा लाइक उत्साह ले आई. बात आपकी बिल्कुल सही है कि मैंने बॉलीवुड की फिल्मों में, इंडियन फिल्मों में, बहुत सारी फिल्मों में काम किया, हॉलीवुड की फिल्मों में काम कर रहा हूं. यहां तक कि जैसा कि आप भी जानते हैं, सभी जानते हैं कि हॉलीवुड और बॉलीवुड के बीच में मैंने एक मड पाथ बनाया. मैं पहला कमर्शियल सिनेमा का एक्टर था जिसने ट्रांजिशन फ्रॉम बॉलीवुड टू हॉलीवुड एंड बैक ये शुरू किया. मैं पहला एक्टर नहीं हूं जिसने हॉलीवुड में काम किया. मुझसे पहले कबीर बेदी, सईद जाफरी, Persis Khambata, and so many other wonderful actors have and were working in Hollywood. लेकिन उससे पहले किसी भी सक्सेसफुल स्टार ने ये जाकर हॉलीवुड को नहीं कहा कि मैं यहाँ पर आया हूँ आपकी पिक्चर में काम करने के लिए, उसके बाद वापस I will go back to the warm adulation of my Indian fans and go back to my sets on Bollywood, जो उनके लिए unheard of बात थी. जो मैंने एस्टैब्लिश किया, मैंने बिटवीन बॉलीवुड एंड हॉलीवुड एक मड पाथ बनाया, जो आज मैं बहुत खुश हूं और प्राउड हूं कि इट इज बीइंग फॉलोड एंड सीमेंटेड बाय my wonderful, talented colleagues like Priyanka Chopra, late Irfan Khan, Anil Kapoor ने भी किया, अनुपम खेर, so many of them. And कुछ समय के बाद जब और यंगर जनरेशन जैसे आलिया भट्ट या दूसरे लोग जिनकी बातें चल रही हैं कि उन्हें हॉलीवुड की फिल्मों में लिया जाएगा, जब ये यंगर जनरेशन काम करने लगेगी तो मैं और ज्यादा फख्र से और ज्यादा चौड़ी छाती से ये कहूंगा कि रास्ता, ये मिट्टी का रास्ता मैंने बनाया। और आज हॉलीवुड तैयार है इस बात के लिए। पहले वो हमें कहते थे, if you want to work in American films, Hollywood films, you got to get a green card, live here, be available for auditions. तो मैंने उनसे कहा, भाई साहब, आपकी फिल्मों में फ्रांस के एक्टर जॉन रेनो काम करते हैं, वो तो आपकी पिक्चर में काम करते हैं, फिर फ्रांस में चले जाते हैं। आपकी पिक्चरों में ऑस्ट्रेलियन एक्टर निकोल किडमैन और बहुत सारे काम करते हैं, वहां चले जाते हैं। ह्यू ग्रांट इंग्लैंड से ब्रिटिश एक्टर हैं, आते हैं, काम करते हैं, चले जाते हैं। बहुत सारे एक्टर यूरोप से, स्पेन से आपकी फिल्मों में काम करते हैं, चले जाते हैं। हमारे लिए अलग क्यों कि हमें ग्रीन कार्ड लेकर यहाँ रहना पड़ेगा और ऑडिशन करना पड़ेगा? अरे भाई, हम अपने देश की शान है। सैकड़ों, हजारों, करोड़ों लोग हमारी कला को रोज सिनेमा हॉल में देखते हैं, उत्साह से देखते हैं और अपलॉड करते हैं और प्यार देते हैं। You have to understand that we are also larger, bigger stars. You have to also understand this. The moment one of us is there in your film, you will have more eyeball, you will have more attention, because the largest filmmaking country and the media from there is going to pay attention to that film. ये सारी बातें बरसों लगी उनको समझाने, लेकिन आज फख्र की बात है। देखिए ना, आज प्रियंका चोपड़ा ना सिर्फ वहां की फिल्मों में काम कर रही है, बल्कि उसे एक से एक बढ़िया ऑनर दिया जा रहा है। वो ऑनर हमारे एंटरटेनमेंट इंडस्ट्री का और हमारे देश का सम्मान है, that they are in a way respecting the Indian film industry and huge wonderful country India. Thank you. मैं पहले इस दूसरे विषय पर चला गया, और जो आपने कहा कि मेरे early years were really financially very hard. We lived on the outskirts of Delhi, a place called Trinagar, which was, like no electricity, no road, nothing. You can say almost like a village. And, it was very difficult, tough to make ends meet. And, but I'm not unhappy about that, because that taught us all, myself and my siblings, so much. And also my father said, the only way to rise from all these hardship is education. Educate yourself, study hard, work hard, and one day that'll become your strength, and that will make you rise from all this.
Yeah,
you
were a very bright student. You got a first class. Then you went to the prestigious Shriram College of Commerce, and you earned your masters there. And some of your classmates went on to become union cabinet ministers, Supreme Court judge, top TV host, corporate bosses. I'd like to know, a little about them. How is your relationship with those people, and how you're with your college people. And the other thing is, you were in this, and then how did you get involved in acting? Because you could have had an alternate career in a different way.
बिल्कुल राइट। मैं उस समय अपनी फाइनेंशियल सर्कमस्टेंसेस को बेहतर करने के लिए मैं पंजाबी बाग और दूसरे इलाकों में जाकर आई यूज्ड टू सेल डिटर्जेंट पाउडर, फिनाइल, non-brand name detergent powder, which was difficult to sell. And I'm truly obliged to those wonderful, kind-hearted ladies who bought all those products, knowing very well that they may never use it, but they were looking at a young student trying to sell all this so that he can pay his school fee and he can take some money home. They were so kind to me that, I used to carry my, because जिसमें सैंपल होते थे उसी में मैं अपनी स्कूल की यूनिफॉर्म और मेरी मदर के हाथ से बनाई हुई रोटियां रख के ले जाता था। सब्जी या दाल रखने से uniform खराब हो सकती थी. So from there only I had to go to the afternoon school, and I would stop at a dhaba, order a cup of tea, and along with that have roti. Maybe they saw me. They would, I see the sincerity of this young kid, and they encouraged me, they helped me, they gave me affection, and they installed a faith that if you are sincere, if you're true, people will help you. All those wonderful ladies, housewives, wealthy housewives who helped me at that time. I'm
They allowed
truly
you to, they also allowed you to change in their home.
Gee,
Yeah.
gee.
Yeah.
And then after studying there, studying very hard, which is one thing, thanks to my father, as he said, the only thing that will make you rise from your hardship is study, foundation of a strong educational background. And because of that, I reached Shriram College of Commerce, prestigious Shriram College of Commerce. I was thrown into the midst of these wonderful, well-studied, intelligent colleagues and classmates, some seniors like Arun Jaitley. Late Arun Jaitley was my senior. Justice Arjun Sikri was my classmate. We used to sit on the same bench. Ryan Karanjewala, Vijay Goyal, Rajat Sharma, Sunil Sethi, the chairman, Fashion Design Council, Rakesh Mathur, the legend in the hospitality hotel industry, Deepak Kejriwal, he's the big CEO with Birlas. So all these people who excelled eventually in different fields were either batchmates, classmates, friends, or seniors in the same batch. And I had the great fortune of, sort of spending time with them, learning from them. And when I did not pursue my career based on academics, and I chose the path of art, they were all surprised that, why am I doing this? I mean, like, I was so good in studies. It's easy to now, pursue that and make a career. So they helped, they encouraged, they criticized, they felt, strange that why am I dumping all this and choosing, something that does not require education. Picture mein kaam karne ke padhai ki kya zarurat?
Yeah, you had cleared the chartered accountancy test, and your parent wanted you to become a banker, but your heart was in Mumbai and you wanted to be in the movies. So you land up in Mumbai without any reference, without any contact, and you stay in Marina Guest House, which is a place for strugglers. And even then, you initially don't get a break. So you come back to Delhi, and then you write that your parents, sold your family jewelry, even without telling you. And then you join Roshan Taneja's classes. So how did all these, did Roshan Taneja's acting classes change your attitude towards life and acting? Tell us something about those days out there.
I would say
about your struggle in Bombay and the Roshan Taneja classes.
Absolutely right. I did the mistake of landing in Bombay, just like that, and wanting to act in films, and that was not the right way. And made mistakes, hung out, struggled, became a skeleton, had no money to eat, stayed in a guest house where I couldn't pay for my, the bed that I had. It was not a room; it was just a bed, and bed shared by like dormitory bed, and everything. And then I came back, sort of defeated to Delhi, and my father sensed it and he said, "No need to feel defeated. Just relax, get back to everything, and we will make it happen. God will help you." My heart was there. I said, one more chance. And this time I want to go to this entertainment business in a proper way. I want to do a formal training of acting, 1 year training, and after that I'll start working. 1 year was a long time for my family to financially support me, as opposed to I should be bringing money home for my sisters and my family. So it was a tough decision, but my father, being a great, wonderful man, said, "No problem. How much is the fee?" And to pay the fee, like it was very hard for them to pay the fee, and 1 year of staying, food, and everything was very difficult for them. So they had to go sell their jewelry, work more harder, do this and the other. It was, and I would say, yes, being at Professor Roshan Taneja Saab's acting school changed my life, changed my perspective towards cinema, towards acting, towards so many things around me. That training gave me a stronger foundation to feel less guilty that I made my parents and my siblings go through this hardship because I want to be an actor. That training gave me confidence that yes, I will be successful. I will for sure be successful. And the learning happens every day. And after that, while I was training there, late Professor Roshan Taneja Saab very kindly gave me a job of an acting teacher in the same school. I used to take classes that would give me some money to buy food, to pay for my paying guests. And then while I was teaching there, under Professor Roshan Taneja Saab, he was teaching crash course for Sanjay Dutt, Kumar Gaurav, and various others. They were being trained to be launched. And I was an acting teacher for Sanjay Dutt under Professor Roshan Taneja Saab. And late Sunil Dutt Saab saw me there and gave me a role in Rocky. And while I was at the passing out parade, at the passing out time, the tradition for years in the Film Institute has been that to invite a whole lot of film industry directors, producers, actors to watch the student perform for the final exam. And they are also honorary judges. They are honorary teachers. They give marks. So my classmate Anil Kapoor's father, late Surendra Kapoor Saab was there, Subhash Ghai ji was there, Tarachand Barjatia ji was there, so many other filmmakers were there, and Surendra Kapoor uncle spotted me there and gave me a role in film Hum Paanch. And
in your autobiography, you say that you got the role in Hum Paanch, but you almost also didn't get it because something had happened. Can you tell us, recount that incident for our
my acting school, one of the teacher was Mithun Chakravarti, a great actor, wonderful human being, and he was also the lead in Hum Paanch. He recommended somebody to the director for that role. And then when I went to meet Surendra Kapoor ji, Anil's father, Surendra uncle, he said, "Do you not get along with Mithun? He's recommending somebody else for that role." Oh, I said, "No, he's a dear friend, brother." I ran to where Mithun was shooting. I said, "What are you doing? You're recommending somebody else for the role that I'm getting." He said, "Oh, I did not know that you're getting that role. You're the best." So I got the role. Otherwise, like if a successful hero recommends somebody to a producer director, that has a weightage. So I had almost lost the role, but Mithun said, "Oh, no, you will do it." So he took his recommendation back.
Yeah, and after Hum Paanch and Rocky, then another important couple of important, this is still your struggling phase, and a couple of important roles come your way. One is you develop a rapport with the Mehras, and you do Ek Jaan Hai Hum. But the more important role comes when you get Soni Mahiwal and Noora. And Noora is a very, very important role. And the Mehras were actually one of the first guys who were making films with the Soviets at that point of time. And they had done Ali Baba Chalis Chor, and this was their second film,
Right.
Soni Mahiwal. And I remember watching again, Soni Mahiwal in Ranchi in Sri Vishnu Talkage. And I remember coming out with my friends and them telling me, "Ki yaar, Gulshan Grover has done a damn good job. He stands out in this movie." and I distinctly remember a friend of mine telling me. So you tell us about your shooting in Soviet Union and all that. This was shot in Tashkent, right?
जी, तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल देखिए कोइंसिडेंस की बात है, मैं कल लौटा हूँ ताशकंद से, ताशकंद फिल्म फेस्टिवल से मैं कल लौटा हूँ, और yesterday for last 3 days I was there, and like Umesh Mehra who had taken me to Tashkent, he was there. There was a lot of Indian filmmakers, actors, and writers, and directors, and actresses were taken by designer Ritu Berry, who is the cultural ambassador of government of Tashkent. We all went there, and when I walked the red carpet, people were screaming about Soni Mahiwal, Shikari, and Ye Mohabbat, that 3 films that I shot in Tashkent in Russia at that time. And I would say it's not incorrect to say that I was applauded, screamed, recognized the maximum for all those films that I did there, at that time. And of course, every interview, the question was, how was Tashkent then and how it is now, and how was your experience? So I went to Tashkent for the first time for Soni Mahiwal, and because of Umesh Mehra Saab, who took me there, and had a great time. It was the first interaction of working with Russian actors, Russian director, Russian line producer, Russian art director, and the art director from here, choreographer from here, from there. It was the first genuine collaboration joint venture where there's one side of Russian talent and one side of Indian talent. It was really, really, really worth learning experience. And being a newcomer, I lived there for months and months, while the whole filming was going on. Some of the days I was not filming. So I would say it was something that had left a tremendous impact on me. From the point of view of their love for Indian cinema, their love for India, the way they spoke Hindi, the way they sang Raj Kapoor Saab's songs, the way they knew about our films, they knew about our culture, was something that really stayed in my heart. And when I was there yesterday, it hasn't changed. Can you imagine at the opening ceremony of the film festival, which is now larger, bigger, massive, huge, one of the songs that they played, on which hundreds of dancers danced, about Mera Juta Hai Japan, Sar pe laal topi Rusi. हाँ जी, वो गाने को उन्होंने प्ले किया, वो गाने के ऊपर कोरियोग्राफी करके ओपनिंग नाइट में दिखाया, और हम लोग लिटरली सब के सब अपनी कुर्सियों से खड़े हो गए और डांस करने लगे और तालियां बजाने लगे कि हमारे देश का गाना, राज कपूर साहब का गाना। एंड सम्मान में उन्होंने रणधीर कपूर जी को भी बुलाया था, वो भी हमारे साथ बैठे हुए थे। और ऑफ कोर्स जो दूसरे बहुत पॉपुलर स्टार हैं, मेरे दोस्त मिथुन चक्रवर्ती, उसकी फिल्म जिमी, डिस्को डांसर।
अगर if you go to the YouTube, in Russian dance shows and Russian talent contests, one of the most popular songs which performers come and dance to is Jimmy 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 Aja Aja Aja. And there are not one versions, but there are at least 7 or 10 versions of Jimmy Jimmy Jimmy, people dancing to them. It is such a fabulous and a happy sight to see. You feel proud as an Indian. You really enjoy watching those things, and it shows the soft power that Bollywood has. Gulshan Grover, apart from Soni Mahiwal, another movie which played a very important role in your life was Avatar, because you were playing a very normal kind of a youth in that, and a super hit where Rajesh Khanna says, "जिसे तुम खरीदने आए हो ना, उसके चेहरे पे लिखा है not for sale," और पूरे हॉल में तालियां, और ये जो फिल्म थी, which empowered the aging, the fact that old people can also अपने पैरों पे खड़ा हो सकते।
ये फिल्म अवतार मुझे शबाना आजमी जी ने रेकमेंड किया था, उन्होंने दिलवाई थी ये फिल्म, एंड फिल्म के डायरेक्टर लेट मोहन कुमार जी, प्रोड्यूसर, डायरेक्टर, राइटर, उन्होंने बहुत सारे जो रेकमेंडेड लड़के थे उसमें से मेरी तस्वीर को चुना और शबाना जी ने मेरी एक्टिंग की बहुत तारीफ की और उन्होंने मुझे इस फिल्म में कास्ट किया और इस फिल्म से मेरे करियर को एक नई डायमेंशन मिली, नई दिशा मिली। इसके साथ साथ मुझे बहुत ज्यादा उस फिल्म के that how a father eventually treats his sons, especially me, पे थोड़ा विश्वास कम था क्योंकि मैंने उस प्रकार का बिहेवियर पेरेंट्स से देखा नहीं, but that is what was revolutionary in that film, in that script. मैं ये बता दूं कि मेरी जैसे कि ये पहले बैडमैन, ये जो मेरी ऑटोबायोग्राफी जो रोशनीला भट्टाचार्य ने लिखी है, ये पहले पेंगुइन ने निकाली इंग्लिश में, अब पेंगुइन और प्रभात पब्लिकेशन ने ये ऑटोबायोग्राफी निकाली है हिंदी में। तो इंग्लिश में भी है और हिंदी में भी है ये ऑटोबायोग्राफी। दोनों जो एडिशन निकाले गए हैं, इंग्लिश के पेंगुइन ने निकाली और ये पेंगुइन और प्रभात पब्लिकेशन दोनों ने मिलकर ये निकाली और बहुत सारी चीजें नई इसके अंदर जो क्या कहते हैं कि इंग्लिश के समय लगा के नहीं हो पाएगी, वो इस सब में है किताब के अंदर। इस किताब के अंदर एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण जो चीज है जो मैं इस वक्त टच ऑन करना चाहता हूँ कि हमारे सिनेमा के टैलेंट को, हमारे वंडरफुल टेक्नीशियंस को, हमारे वंडरफुल एक्टर्स को आज जिस प्रकार का रिकग्निशन वर्ल्ड सिनेमा में मिल रहा है, आज जिस प्रकार का रिकग्निशन हमारी फिल्मों को सम्मान मिल रहा है, जिस तरह से like people don't really say this, but they used to say to me, Gulshan, your films are first of all 3 hour, 4 hour long. They don't have subtitles. Nobody speaks English, and you guys break into a dance every 5-10 minutes. This is how they were describing our commercial cinema. जब मैं वहाँ पे फिल्मों में काम करने, आज उन कमर्शियल सिनेमा के एक्टर्स, चाहे वो मैं हूँ, चाहे वो प्रियंका चोपड़ा है, लेट इरफान खान, अनिल कपूर ने किया काम कुछ, अनुपम खेर, अमिताभ बच्चन जी ने किया और बहुत सारे एक्टरों ने किया, अभी हुमा कुरैशी कर रही है। तो ये सब कमर्शियल सिनेमा के एक्टर्स हैं जिन्होंने इतना सब वहां पर जाकर काम किया, काम कर रहे हैं। मैं तो आप सबकी गुड विशेस से अमेरिकन फिल्म्स, कनेडियन फिल्म्स, ब्रिटिश फिल्म्स, ऑस्ट्रेलियन फिल्म्स, फ्रेंच फिल्म, जर्मन फिल्म, और मैं पहला एक्टर हूँ जिसने मलेशियन फिल्म में भी एक्टिंग की है। मैं पहला एक्टर हूँ जिसने ईरानियन फिल्म में एक्टिंग की है। मैं पहला एक्टर हूँ जिसने अभी पोलिश फिल्म में एक्टिंग की है और पोलिश फिल्म नवंबर में लगने वाली है। अलग अलग कंट्री से मुझे आप सबकी गुड विशेस से ऑफर्स आती हैं क्योंकि अब वो टैलेंट को हर कंट्री रिकग्नाइज कर रही है, बॉलीवुड के टैलेंट। ये बातें बोलकर मैं अपनी शेखी नहीं मार रहा हूँ, अपने बारे में बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, वो सब तो बुक के अंदर है, बैडमैन बुक के अंदर। मैं बताना चाहता हूँ कि किस प्रकार से हमारे कमर्शियल सिनेमा, जिसकी की कोई इज्जत नहीं थी उस समय, उसके प्रति रिस्पेक्ट बढ़ रही है, पर्सपेक्टिव चेंज हो रहा है। ये बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट मुकाम है हमारे सिनेमा के लिए, क्योंकि आपने 2 किताबें सिनेमा के ऊपर आपकी पब्लिश हो चुकी हैं, तीसरी किताब आप सिनेमा पर लिख रहे हैं। सिनेमा में आपका ज्ञान बहुत डिटेल्ड है, बहुत बढ़िया। आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई, बहुत बहुत कांग्रेचुलेशन सर। तो जी, तो इसलिए अब जो अगला मुकाम आने वाला है उसमें देखिए, जब भी हॉलीवुड फिल्में किसी कंट्री में जाती हैं तो वहां के सिनेमा को दबा देती है। ऑस्ट्रेलियन सिनेमा के साथ किया, फ्रेंच सिनेमा के साथ किया, ब्रिटिश सिनेमा के साथ किया, और कई कंट्रीज का सिनेमा सेकंड सिनेमा हो जाता है। हॉलीवुड अकेली जगह है जहां पर वो आकर अपनी फिल्म जब उनकी आती है अच्छा बिजनेस करती है, बट इट विल नॉट बी एबल टू मार्जिनलाइज और इरेडिकेट Bollywood or cinema. In fact, now like मेरे लिए गर्व की बात है कि मेरा बेटा संजय ग्रोवर, जो कि हॉलीवुड के स्टूडियो MGM में पिछले 14 साल से फिल्म प्रोड्यूसर है, वहाँ फिल्में बना रहा है हॉलीवुड के स्टूडियो में, MGM के being an executive in the studio, and every day he's asked by some of the big studio heads and various other people about some Indian talent or the other, about some Indian film, Indian writer that can be used in Hollywood, or if there is a way to collaborate between these two countries. तो संजय ग्रोवर जिस प्रकार से मैं वहां पर एक्टिंग के बारे में मशाल लेकर गया था, मेरा बेटा, मुझे गर्व है संजय एक कोलैबोरेशंस को बिटवीन like Indian cinema and Hollywood cinema को आगे बढ़ा. तो इट्स अ वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टाइम. इसके ऊपर मैं इसलिए ज्यादा किया एम्फसाइज किया बिकॉज आगे जाकर हमारी फिल्में, आज देखिए हमारी किताबों के ऊपर जो यहाँ हमारे राइटर्स बुक्स लिख रहे हैं उसके ऊपर मैं ऑलरेडी जानता हूँ एटलीस्ट 4-5 हॉलीवुड प्रोड्यूसर्स ने खरीद ली. यानी कि the book is written by an Indian writer from New York, and it's a story set in Mumbai. It's taken. Somebody else wrote a book here, taken. They want to make those films, those stories that show them, like a certain segment of India, like how, बहुत साल पहले वो फिल्म बनी थी, ओमपुरी थे और शबाना आजमी थी, कोलकाता बेस्ड फिल्म, about an auto rickshaw driver, how slumdog millionaire बनी थी, सिर्फ पॉवर्टी से रिलेटेड नहीं. अब ये पिक्चरें दिखा रहे हैं आज के इंडिया. अब ये बुक
सिटी ऑफ जॉय की बात कर रहे हैं.
हाँ जी,
You were talking about City of Joy. You were talking about City of Joy. Which,
Slumdog Millionaire and various other films that were, like that was shown in India. There was very good films, but India was shown in a certain way. Now it is today's India. The books that they are looking, they're optioning and taking.
Since you have been talking about Bollywood, I'd and Hollywood at the same, I'd like you to bring you to the subject of OTT. Which is again, a very new thing, and one thing is, that you started working in the 80s, and so the villains were larger than life in the 70s and 80s. We had characters like Gabbar Singh, Shakal, Mogambo, Dr. Dan, and your own Badman. They were like mythical figures. They enveloped our consciousness and they lived there. They lived within us. So do you think the era of that villain, the larger than lifestyle era, that is gone, and that in the age of OTT, we are moving towards a more realistic phase of villains? What is your view on this?
देखिए, like writers, directors, filmmakers वो दिखाते हैं जो जिंदगी में, सोसाइटी में, न्यूज में उन्होंने देखा है. तो जब ये लार्जर देन लाइफ विलन कैरेक्टर्स होते थे तो समाज में उस प्रकार के कैरेक्टर्स एग्जिस्ट करते थे, उस तरह की खलनायकी, उस तरह की चीजें एग्जिस्ट करती थी. As times are changing, times changed, the characters became subtle. The difference between good and bad, you are not easily able to identify that this person is bad. It's sort of submerged. It's confusion. So therefore, today, not just OTT, every film has the villain more subtle, more real, more today, more something that we see in the society. But like how, old fashioned comes back, like bell bottom will be back, watch my words. Like certain kind of collars are coming back, certain kind of shirts, certain designs are coming back. Similarly with music. I mean, like some of the old songs are remixed with today's Disney, and they are super duper. Similarly with art, old heritage art, buildings, old style of decorating home, all this is coming back. So there will be a time when all these iconic villains will be brought, but not in every film because it's too unreal. For a young man, they don't understand कि ऐसे कौन सड़क पे सिगरेट पीते गुंडा निकलता है और सब लोग भाग जाते हैं. अब तो होता नहीं ऐसा, पुलिस पकड़ लेगी 2 मिनट, तो वो वापस जरूर आएगा. अब जैसे देखिए मेरी फिल्म, माय फिल्म सूर्यवंशी, अक्षय कुमार, अजय देवगन, रणबीर सिंह, we are so many like positive forces, and I'm the negative force against them. A big director, and that film, the director's faith, director Rohit Shetty's faith is that he will release it only on cinema and not on OTT. He waited for 2 years. My film, Indian 2, with Kamala Hassan, with India's biggest director, Shankar. It's a mega film. He's not going to release it, doesn't want to release an OTT. So some of these films will bring those iconic villains back, but adapted to today's circumstances, to these larger films. Some of the like wonderful directors will bring those iconic villains back on screen, but adapted to today's circumstances. So it will be back, but in today's color.
My favorite Gulshan Grover villain is Chapan Tikli, but for most of India, probably it's Bad Man. So I was reading.
So Bad Man, इसलिए ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. Bad Man changed my life. Can you imagine? I mean, like I'm in Hollywood. I go to Goldie Hawn's house for dinner, and then I know her for well, and she's always called Gulshan, Gulshan. And I go there, she says, "You bad man." So what happened to her? How did she find out? She says, I told some friend of mine in New York, an Indian, that I'm Gulshan Grover coming home for dinner. She said, "He's a bad man." So that popularity of bad man is everywhere, everywhere. I'm shooting a film, like in Sri Lanka with American actors. So the hero and I fighting, and he surprises me by giving me a punch and saying, "You're a bad man." I said, how did he learn? How did he find out? So it's something that has given me a different kind of identity. I mean, so much so today, my autobiography is called Bad Man. There's a whole line of men's grooming products going to be launched that's called Bad Man. There's going to be multiple other things called Bad Man. There's going to be a film called Bad Man. So I like Bad Man. I like the title Bad Man.
Yeah. Did you ever think that Bad Man will become such a popular name that
Not at all.
that you
Not at all.
but you worked very hard for the role.
Yes,
The
sir.
way you went about
Yes.
to create that character. You went
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and you did it on your own.
No, I did not think that it will become so big. I worked very hard for it. It is the genius of director Subhash Ghai and late DOP Ashok Mehta, who presented this character so beautifully well, that it had such impact on the audiences. Otherwise, like for me, to be popular as Bad Man, for me to have an autobiography written as Bad Man, for me to have line of grooming products as Bad Man, to have a film named after me as Bad Man, song named after me as Bad Man, was impossible. I'm grateful to the wonderful filmmakers and people that I encountered who helped me, who held my hand, and even they do it today, and sort of gave me opportunity after opportunity to make me the biggest Bad Man ever.
Mr. Gulshan Grover, thanks very much for this delightful conversation. I also thank the audience for watching and listening to us. I had a good time, and I hope you enjoyed the show.
Thank you for watching today's sessions. Please join us tomorrow between 5 to 7 p.m. to watch our upcoming sessions. We will start with an intriguing and entertaining session with none other than Neena Gupta, who will be in conversation with author-columnist Vinita Daura Nangia. Next, acclaimed Indian Dalit feminist writer and former IAS officer P. Silakami will be launching her book, The Language of the Mirror, along with Meena Kandasamy, renowned poet, writer, translator, and activist. Lastly, we have Vidhi Mukherjee, who will be sharing accounts of her tragic fate and how she overcame it. Also, don't forget to talk about us on our social media handles and do use the hashtag TimesLitFest.